For a future weapon to succeed on the battlefield, it has to be smart.
Press to fire the missile.
Like this?
I'm Richard Makowitz. I spent 10 years as a Navy SEAL, and I'm on a mission to seek out the world's smartest weapons. The remote and rugged landscapes of Ireland are steeped in myth and legend. So it makes sense that here in Northern Ireland, they developed a weapon with a name taken straight from the folklore of a race of fearsome warriors. Thor was the Viking god of war who protected his people by raining down thunder and lightning on his enemies.
The Thor of the 21st century is just as powerful, just as deadly, except this one is no myth. This one is very real.
This vehicle is fitted with Thor, a brand new state-of-the-art missile launcher that can take out aircraft or ground targets.
It's a lightweight, highly mobile defensive unit.
It weighs just a half a ton and can be operated by one man.
The man is there really in an executive role to confirm the target and to decide when to engage the target.
And when it's packed with 4 deadly accurate Starstreak missiles, there is no escape.
Once you see the target, you see, that's the target I want to get, then you can get on there, fire it, and it's away. You know, you're talking seconds.
The whole system has been built to detect, track, lock onto, and destroy a target such as a low-flying fighter plane or an attack helicopter in less than 10 seconds. So it's pretty obvious that a plane or a helicopter doesn't stand a chance against a Thor loaded with Starstreaks. But what's the point of having an anti-aircraft missile when the other guy doesn't have any planes? Who knows what the future may bring, but for now, the threat of an airborne attack on Western forces has almost completely disappeared.
Let's go, Gunny!
The current war on terror is being fought at street level, mainly in densely populated urban areas. And that's why Thor is smarter than the average anti-aircraft missile launcher. It has also been designed for use on the ground. In urban combat, ground targets are often exposed for just a few seconds as they pass behind buildings or civilians. To launch an effective strike, you need to be fast and accurate. You're also going to need a special sort of missile, like the Starstreak.
The Starstreak missile is a close air defense weapon system that is designed for very rapid response to be able to engage targets that are only fleetingly visible, operating at very low level.
Hill Wilson is the brains behind Starstreak.
Its characteristic is very high velocity indeed.
It is probably the most advanced short-range air defense missile in the world.
But the Thor launcher can fire a whole range of missile types in any combination, making it equally effective against tanks and other heavily armored vehicles.
Add to that a cutting-edge laser guidance system, CCD camera, and thermal imaging, you can clearly see why Thor lives up to its name.
And seeing clearly is exactly what Thor is good at. Its advanced thermal and optical imaging is linked to a tracking system that can find and lock onto a target in seconds. And the whole missile guidance panel is incredibly easy to operate.
The controls are very simple, and it gives an accurate weapon, and it's so simple to use. You know, once he's got the target, he fires, and that's it.
If we can see it, we can hit it.
Under the expert guidance of James Keown, chief designer of Thor, I was able to master the controls in just a few minutes.
How do I lock on? If we engage the right hand grip, you have control of the sight through this joystick controller.
Piece of cake.
The ATT indicates the target to be tracked. We lock on the target.
The sensitive thermal imaging can pick out the faintest heat signature in day or at night, even through heavy cloud.
Camouflage doesn't work. We can see ground targets, we can see aerial targets at tremendous ranges. You know, we can pick up helicopters out to 10 kilometers, and even small UAV type targets we can see easily at 6-7 kilometers.
A super smart target tracking system leaves the operator free to concentrate on the main job, deciding whether to fire or not.
The only thing he really has to have is a bit of aircraft recognition. Make sure he's firing at the right aircraft.
Target identified as hostile.
Then I lift this thing up right here.
Yes.
Boom.
The safety
and
trigger and press to fire the missile.
like this.
It all takes place in the blink of an eye, but the Starstreak launch sequence is very complex. First, the protective cap pops off the missile tube, and a pulse from the firing unit ignites the first stage rocket, launching the missile on its deadly journey. As it leaves the tube, it starts to spin, forcing rear fins to unfold, which will keep it stable in the air. Once it's clear, the first motor is jettisoned, and the second stage rocket ignites, accelerating the missile to 3.5 times the speed of sound. This all happens within a half a second of the trigger being pulled.
And when it gets to the target, it packs another surprise. Or make that 3 surprises.
This little dart has within it all the systems that you would find on a missile many times bigger. You know, it has a receiver system, a guidance computer, a warhead, a fuse, actuator system, and a gyroscope. 3 darts gives us the very high hit probability of at least 1 dart hitting the target, and we would normally expect 2 darts to actually hit the target. 3 gives a very good punch.
The darts know where to hit because the Thor projects an invisible grid of low-intensity laser beams undetectable by the enemy. The center of this grid is locked onto the target by the tracking system. As each small dart flies through the air, it senses its position and adjusts its flight path with astonishing speed before striking with enough force to pierce armored steel.
Here's a plate of armor. It's over an inch thick, weighs roughly 60 to 65 pounds, and the dart penetrated all the way through this with kinetic force alone.
But for an air defense missile, which is what it's designed to, for it to penetrate that much steel is just fantastic. There's no aircraft in the world with...
That's going to hold up against it, isn't it?
There's no armor that's going to stop it, no.
Once the dart has pierced its way through the armor, only then does the tungsten warhead finally finish the job.
All its energy, its chemical energy and its kinetic energy is delivered inside the target. So it's delivered inside the aircraft structure, and therefore the small charge has a tremendous, as it were, amplified explosive
Absolutely,
effect.
because it's compact inside that space.
And the tungsten warhead produces many hundreds of fragments moving at very high velocity, damaging the structure and all the internals.
Launched manually from a portable shoulder unit, the missile is as accurate as the operator who fires it. But when it's combined with the Thor launcher, the Starstreak is just seconds away from being a 100% guaranteed hit.
It's a cutting-edge missile. It's passive. It can't be detected. It can't be beaten. It can't be defeated. There's nothing that can stop it. So once an operator has decided to fire that missile, it's going to hit what he's firing at.